how many replays I casted. Either way, not function, but Control N. We will have this TVP started with the red Protoss in the top right. He will be SchimZ. SchimZ. Regardless, we will also have the Team Zero. We will have not the boar, not the pig, but the bison roaming across the land, calling the good luck, or GG, whatnot. Wasn't really looking at the chat, but that is what I assume. Bison seems like he'd be a nice guy. He would be a very friendly guy. He's just gonna roam across the nice snowy pastures over here. I don't think there's a lot of room for him to run, but by damn it, he'll be a bison for us anyways. We do have the 13 gate coming from the Protoss. We do also have the gas and the Barrett started for Terran. He might go for one of those Reaper plays that is so very common for the Terrans right now, just because it's pretty much a free scout as well as being able to possibly pick off a free worker or two. Excuse me. And he will have nearing enough gas, so that will start, and that will definitely be a Reaper. The orbital command also started. He will want a supply depot here in a moment, but not going to start one just yet. Maybe also just going to go for a very fast command center in this build. From the Protoss, we do have the Cyber Core all the way in the back, and he did see the opening. He can almost be completely sure that it is a Reaper, which it is, but he will need to Chrono Boost out a Stalker. The Zealot will not be very effective, and that might actually, see in the times, and the Zealot won't hurt the Stalker timing at all, but it is a few extra minerals that you have to invest, as well as that supply cost early on, making him throw down another pylon so that way he can make workers as well as units without stopping. That's the phrase I was looking for. But we do have the command center coming out for the Terran, the Reaper going across the map, and a reactor actually being thrown down instead of a tech lab. You might have either double Reaper, or he will throw down another production building with this here soon, but not just yet. Instead, this probe wants to throw down his Nexus. He wants to be the guy to do it, but this Reaper is just going to ruin his day rather, taking about 5 hits to the face. He does have 2 kills, must have killed the scouting probe as well. Going to get a third here, possibly. Here comes the Stalker, though. There goes the third kill, that Reaper being a lot more effective than what they normally are, especially in this matchup. Usually they might cause a drone to be turned into a spine or into an extractor here or there, but other than that, there's not really too many kills that they get or too much damage that they do, mainly for the Scout. And we do have double Marine production rather, not any more Reapers. Another Barrett's on the way, Engineering Bay on the way. He's going to start getting those upgrades. Maybe he was fearing some kind of airplay, but since he did scout that base, he knows that it's not coming. We do have 2 forges coming from the Protoss right now, and while that's nice and all, he won't have any units if he's getting those upgrades, and that could cause a very bad window for the Terran player for the Protoss player, where he is just so far behind the Terran. We will see what happens there. He is Master's level, means that he pretty much always knows better than me in these situations. We do have Stim started, as well as that +1 might be going for some form of a timing with these Marines. Always a fun thing to do. Even if you don't kill the Protoss, you can snipe sentries, you can try to get a few probes, you can make the Protoss freak out just a bit, especially if he's going for something like this. The 1-1 has started being chrono boosted off of one of those. And the Natural about to finish up here. These units being spread out, he doesn't want a Reaper to jump in without him seeing it. The Mothership Core would be able to take it out, as well as the Stalker. And here is the Reaper right here being moved back, only taking 1 shot to the face. I'm not sure how he can just be okay getting shot in the face with some form of laser beam, but I am not one to judge. Maybe he's a bit disfigured. He does have that mask on, and he actually took a few more hits, it looks like. The particle disruptor here. Particle disruptors are not very pleasant, even though they do tickle at times. It seems just a small balanced quarrel that I have, because I wish Stalkers did relevant damage. But I mean, later on they do, especially against armored units. That's just something that used to be complained about so much. Not being entirely serious there. We do have a third gas for Protoss, not the fourth one though. He is just going to stick on that. The Twilight Council also on the way, so that way he can continue these upgrades, but he has no units. You can have a 3-3-3 Zealot at 9 minutes in the game, or at 8 minutes in the game. But against this many Marines and a Marauder, it's still going to die. You can have a 3-3-3 Stalker and Zealot at this point in the game, and it's still going to die to that much bio. And he is finally throwing down some more gateways. They are about to finish up rather. Two more are about halfway. The 2 armor upgrade, you always wanted to get that armor upgrade instead, or rather over attack if you can only afford one. Definitely go for the armor in this matchup. In ZVP or in PvZ rather, I would definitely go for the attack grade upgrade over the armor one. More Zealots being warped in, maybe going for that charge here sometime soon. That's always nice. And in the Terran base, we do see Marine, Marauder, Medevac, not any mines added into this composition. The Observer observing the very common style, doing his job very, very well. A command center could be thrown down for Terran soon. He does have a lot of resources, and that might be what he's doing. He's going to move out with this as well, hitting that 10-minute or so timing. This Reaper making sure that nothing moved out over here. Charge has started, but I don't think it'll be done in time. He also has another Observer being chrono boosted. These upgrades not being done in time either. This is the timing that I was talking about. Terran has a much larger army. Even if these Zealots are pretty tanky, I don't think they can stand up against that much of a bio force this early on, especially with that stim pack. They also have +1 as well. That Stalker being fried instantly. He does want to pull back here. He does use the Photon Overcharge, making those units fall back just for a bit. Actually, they're just going to stim in and try to take this down. I don't know if I agree with that, especially with these Zealots here. They are going to power through the Zealots, but taking a lot of damage from that Overcharge, and there goes a lot of the Bio Force. But the upgrade's still not done. We'll be finishing up here soon, but I don't know if it'll be in time. Here comes the probes. Just trying to hold the nets for as long as possible, allowing that Photon Overcharge to keep doing damage. Here comes some more Zealots as well. One of them already being taken out, though. Not a very good spot for the Protoss player. More bio being stimmed up here. And the upgrade's finally finishing. And Terran might just go for a drop in the main. There he goes. He will be going for that. A lot of warp gates being chrono boosted, but not many resources for our Protoss player. The upgrade for Marauder Slow has started. This drop will commence here shortly. There it goes. One Marine dying. He probably won't get any more. There it goes. And this bio outside the natural could just trying to stim in here, do extra damage. Terran is ahead by about 30 supply, even if he is in the up have very good upgrades. The +3 armor has started for Protoss, but again, you cannot do that if you don't have any units. Protoss definitely needing to make some of those. Anything would work. Zealots, sentries to make force fields, stalkers just to shoot things. He needs to do something besides just upgrade his units. He does go for a pretty quick Templar Archives. We're going to go into that Charge the Archon play, and he does finally have Charge. He does have the 2-2 compared only to the 1-1 of our Terran opponent. But I don't know if it'll be enough. The Photon Overcharge is still here. The Zealots powering through. Actually going to be enough to clean this up just because of that Photon Overcharge and the Zealots being so tanky with those upgrades. Yes, the Terran does have the bigger force, but he cannot push into that much. But at the same time, if Terran just kept producing and got a third base, he'd be very far ahead. He does have a lot of minerals he needs to be using, which he could just throw in down right here. Nice big command center, but instead going for the double drop into the main. So many Zealots here though, not a single Stalker. That will be a problem in the fact that the Medevats can just lift off like that. Something being left there, I think that was the Reaper of all things, finally dying. Does scan to see the Zealots move back. He could do a fake drop in the main and then move into the natural with his actual army. That is something that we might be seeing. This Medevat just kind of chilling out here. Storm has started. Templars are made. +3 armor will be almost finishing up here, and +3 attack just now started recently. Third base has started for our Terran player, and it will be... well, he did actually have... there goes the third base, and a fourth command center, rather, being produced. Here comes the Bio Army. We'll see what it can do. He does not have Storm yet. He does just have a lot of charge slots doing a lot of damage once they actually get in the face of the Bio Army. +3 is nearing halfway done. More Templars, more Zealots, more Gateways, and he could start getting the shield upgrade since he probably will want a few Archons in here soon. But that's just me. The Terran ship weapons has started. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's just a mistake. We do see 3 Ghosts on the way, as well as that 2-2 coming out. And Protoss will want to hit some form of a timing here soon if he wants any chance of beating this Terran. A drop possibly going... No, just a Marine. I saw the mark on the map. Figured it was a drop. That's just me. Terran is ahead by about 30 supply. Nice lead to have in this matchup. But the AoE from Protoss will be very strong unless those EMPs hit. The Frosty Pylon being taken out and will actually supply block Protoss pretty hard. He will definitely want to fix that here soon. Surprising to see that he is so very supply blocked. So that +1 shield upgrade finishing here soon. It is about halfway. And the 2-2 for Terran finishing up. And we might have an engagement here soon. He knows that he needs to move out. He is throwing down a lot of pylons, and he knows that he definitely has the upgrade advantage. 3-2 compared to 1-1, but that will definitely change here momentarily. A nuke was started for a second. I was about to start freaking out, but it did change over into that Mobius reactor. And I don't think that Protoss... Yeah, Protoss does not know about the space. He does... That Templar. That was a very upset Templar. The Observer even being scanned out. Nothing is going in the Protoss's favor. He is still down by about 50 supply as well. Not a good spot to be in. There goes the Storm doing a decent amount of damage to those Marauders, and the Templar getting out of there with 17 health. I don't know what Protoss can do though. This would be the perfect time for a drop in the main base of the Protoss or if the Terran player dropped rather is what I'm trying to say. More storms going out before any EMPs can land, but I don't... Oh, that storm hitting only Zealots. And there's one more. I don't think he has... He's not really using the other storms. The other Templar are trying to... That was a very bad Templar micro time work being thrown down just to slow down these units, but Protoss is down by about 60 supply. More Zealots being warped in. At least one of those will probably be picked off. There goes those concussive grenades being so annoying, and they kind of just turn away. So I guess he'll be able to live for another day, but that another day is coming to a close here soon. The +2 shields upgrade has started. Robotics base started. Just a lot of bit too late. Not a little bit, not a tidbit, but a lot of bit. And Terran will be moving in here very shortly, I presume. There he goes. Even the small bio-army right here could do severe damage, and with these reinforcements, with this third base in full swing, another command center being thrown down, this one just hovering here, chilling out. There goes the encounter, the Zealots moving in. The Photon Overcharge will do a lot of damage, but Zealots, even with their 3-3 upgrades, cannot tank that much damage by themselves. They will all fall here shortly, taking a lot more damage than I would assume that they would. But, there they go. I guess the Marauders doing less damage than I normally think they do. They seem to do a lot more to my units. Maybe that's just me, though. A second robotics facility is here, so he could go into double Colossi production, but it might be too little too late. These Zealots moving in, the Mothership Core getting free hits, but Marines are here. If he loses the Mothership Core, he won't have a Photon Overcharge. There it goes. That's very, very bad news for the Protoss player. These Marines and Marauders will clean up these Zealots, and the Bioforce from Terran, looking very scary off of those 3 bases, will be a 4th base here soon. Widow Mines now started. The 3-3 is over the halfway point, and that leaves the Terran or the Protoss player in a very bad spot. These Archons doing a lot of damage, but the army has split up for Terran, and that will make it so those Archons do a lot less splash damage. Stimming in there, taking out a few Zealots. I mean, at this point you could just commit to it. He knows what the Protoss has. He has 2 Archons. One of them has 1 hit point and some shield left. And the other one has only 100 shield, less health than what a Zealot would have. He does scan the 2 Colossi, and those Colossi do not have range yet. He did see how close they had to get to attack, and he could just stim in here and kill them. Even if he loses this army, he would be so far ahead by killing those Colossi that it wouldn't even matter at this point, and he might just drop right on top of them. There they go. He will get at least 1 Colossi here. The other units being dropped right onto some Zealots. Not a very efficient use of those units, but these Marauders stimming in here, and they will get the Colossi. And even though the army has died, he has no AoE. He has reset the Colossi count, he has reset the Templar count, and just then 4 Ghosts move in, and a lot of Marines. He might have 2 Colossi here, he might have 1 Archon and some Storms at this rate, but it won't be nearly nearly enough to deal with this army. Protoss surviving for a lot longer than what I thought he would. +2 ship weapons have started, as well as Vikings. So I guess he has been very well prepared for any form of Viking transition that he had to do. I guess I just didn't see Colossi being too much of a threat, but I didn't think that Protoss would be in such a bad spot. That third base has started, but a Marine is here. The planetary at the... He's making a planetary at the third, so that way no run-bys can come in here and disrupt this base very effectively. And Terran knows right where the Protoss army is. He scans it again, and now he can just stim in here. There's no mass recall, there's no anything. These Marines will do a lot of damage. And now, one feedback going down, but an EMP going down, taking out all of the energy and all the shields of the Protoss army. The Templars will be taken down. All of the Tier 3 is gone. And a Terran with a very, very nice engagement. Finally clearing out that rather resilient Protoss. He sent in the Marines over here. He knew where the Protoss army would have to move down this way, and due to that he was able to move in from this side, move in from this side. EMP only lost one ghost to a feedback. Everything else was EMP'd, making so there was no energy, no shields, and that just allowed those units to be destroyed by any amount of bio. In this case, this ragtag team of Marines and Marauders have won the game. More was on the way in terms of Widow Mines, and those would be very effective. I don't think we had any observers on the field. One was on the field, and it was just sitting over here, I guess looking for a drop of some sort, but not the most effective place for that observer to be. And more Marauders, more Vikings. The Colossi would have been hard countered here soon anyways, so very good game for Mr. Bison. Thank you for that replay.